Uh-oh. I wish I had some hand sanitizer. Hi guys, it's your friendly desert dwelling Sarah here, ×2. Uno, dos. Today we're going to be reviewing this 2019 Ford Ranger 4x4 out here in the desert on a dirt road where trucks belong.
And not running over cactuses.
Cacti. So real quick, it wouldn't be a car review if we didn't touch on the interior of the vehicle. So first thing I have to say I'm a huge fan of with this new Ranger, and I shouldn't say new because it's new for America. However, this is just a carryover from overseas where they already had the Ford Ranger. So it's new for America, not necessarily new for the rest of the world. As tested, this truck is just over $44,000, which is quite a bit for a mid-size pickup truck. Now this is the Lariat package, so it does have the leather interior, which I feel like these seats would be easy to clean just by looking at them. However, I don't really like the way they look, so I'd probably try to save some money by getting the XLT package instead, and then using that money I save on upgrading some off-road goodies.
I also like the magnetic gray look of the dash, and it ties in the color of the wheels on the outside, so I always love when they tie the outside details into the inside of the car.
I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this feature, but it has the power folding mirrors and the little button is just left of the gauge cluster, and when you push it the mirrors fold in. I know this is like nothing new, a lot of cars have had this for years, but I think it's kind of cool because like if you pull up at a set of lights and there's another Ranger at the lights, you can just like quickly press that button and wave your mirrors at the other Ranger.
Fold them in when you're going through the car wash like a normal person.
Overall summary of the interior though, for this truck being $44,000, I don't feel the interior looks up to par to being a $44,000 truck, but I do feel it is a decent interior for a mid-size truck. This thing is really tech heavy. It doesn't feel that cheap. The only thing in the interior that makes it seem cheap, I feel, is just the seats in here. Other than that, it's comfortable. Everything here in the interior that you need as far as tech goes, and the stereo's banging, and that's like one of the most important parts, the banging sound system. It does have push button start, but it's 2019, so.
Let's be honest, it's 2019. Cars should fly at this point.
Now, because this is an off-road review, I'm kind of skipping the on-road portion of it, but as far as on-road goes, the past 3 days I've been driving this truck, I've noticed that it rewards you for driving it efficiently. So if you don't drive it like you hate it, I was getting 24 miles per gallon, which is amazing for a truck. Even though this is a mid-sized truck, that's still amazing. But when you get into boost, I got it down to averaging 21.4 miles per gallon. I think if Toyota offered a turbo 4-cylinder in the Tacoma, it would offer a lot of competition against this truck because it doesn't need a V6. I feel this is plenty of power. I love the way it sounds. It has this grunty, like, angry wild boar sound to it.
It's really low and rumbly.
Oh.
I can't do that.
You can't roll your R's?
No.
Ah. I think this is a perfect size for a truck. I don't feel it's too small sitting in here, and I'm 5'11". It feels like a decent sized truck, and you know you're going slow when you're filming a video when you're about to get passed by a mountain bike. Hi, we gotta go slow or else you guys won't have good audio. All you'll hear is the camera bouncing around. Man, she's cruising.
Yeah, she's killing it.
She is, oh my God, we're going uphill and this girl just passed us on a mountain bike. This thing is not that small. I mean, it weighs 4,441 pounds, and yes, I just remembered that number, don't ask why, but I also remember PLU numbers off of produce at grocery stores. Like a banana is 4011 and a cantaloupe is 5050.
Wow, that's a lot of information.
Now this truck is equipped with Ford's 2.3 liter Ecoboost 4-cylinder that has 270 horse and 310 pound-feet of torque.
I'd love to put an exhaust on this thing. I want one actually.
It gets tail happy really easy. Overseas, this is available with a 5-cylinder turbo diesel, which if they offered that in this Ranger here in the States and made it available on the lowest XL model, the base model with the diesel, so that way if you want the diesel option, you don't have to buy a $50,000 truck, because most people that want to buy a diesel as an option in a truck like this might be using it for work. So to have it available on the lowest trim package makes more sense than to have it available on the highest trim package. But the fact that this isn't offered with a manual transmission, and a lot of automotive manufacturers, their excuse is, well, people don't buy the manual. But the thing that you see common is when they offer a manual, they only offer it in the lowest trim package and not the highest level. So that means if you want a manual transmission, you gotta have roll-up windows and just basic features on the interior, which is kind of like no one's gonna buy that. And I'm gonna do some basic departure and entry into this little parking area. It's got a little hill so you can climb in and out of in two-wheel drive and just see how this thing does traction wise coming in and out of an area like this. Now it has 8.9 inches of ground clearance, so it should have no problem descending out of this little parking mound. Go slow because I don't want to bottom out. That's good. And bottom out. Back bumper. Go slow. Good. Well, I did that easy. Let's see if we can get back up it in two-wheel drive. These tires, I can already tell, are the Achilles heel with this four-wheel drive, or for this truck.
You can just feel it not gripping.
Well, it's a little bit of off-road. Whee! We're now in a wash. For those of you that have never been to the desert Southwest before, a wash is where water flows when we have monsoon season. It's basically a river that's dried up. I don't know if we'll need four-wheel drive at all.
Please don't get us stuck.
So now we're in a ditch and it's really soft. Okay, so if I try to go in reverse, we're definitely gonna get buried. And this does not have crawl control like a Toyota. I think we're gonna have to just go forward and send it. Okay, I don't want to get stuck.
Me either. Ooh. Uh-oh.
So now we're in 4 low. So you don't want to spin the tires because then it's going to bury us. Yeah, we're stuck and we're even in 4 low. How did it get stuck? It's not that crazy.
No, not at all.
It's kind of good that this happened because, I mean, that's the whole purpose of doing a review of a truck off-road. So these things do happen and then you can see how they react in these situations. Go ahead, laugh it up, bird. Yep, it's all jokes. Go ahead, laugh, bird. Oh yeah. So even the birds are laughing at us. It's all right, we'll figure it out.
I wish I had some hand sanitizer. But hey, I'll live.
Lesson learned, don't go off-roading without a tow vehicle or a shovel. So I'm kind of glad this happened though, because I mean, this is real world testing of a 4x4's truck capabilities and we just saw what it can't do. I have to say though, for everyone that is like an off-roading enthusiast, that was more driver error than it was in the truck. We drove into some deep, soft sand. Like, what do you expect is gonna happen? But it was kind of cool to see if this truck was capable of getting out or not. I think if we were able to get some rocks and dirt built up under that tire that was just free spinning, we wouldn't have had an issue. We could have got out. But the problem was that tire just kept spinning and the other ones weren't really doing much other than burying the truck any further.
It's still a very capable truck. It just depends on the driver, really. And
Yeah.
that goes for any vehicle.
That's why I love off-roading. Like, people are so friendly. I love the community of off-roading enthusiasts. This is so awesome. So thank you to everyone that got us out of the sand.
I'd be curious to see what the Raptor Ranger would have done in that same situation.
Yeah, I think a little bit added ground clearance and some better wheels and tires on here would definitely make a big difference off-road. So if you guys have never seen one of my off-road reviews, we do what is called the
Meatball score, and if you don't know what that is, there's a video up above for our last review, and it kind of explains where that came from.
She made up meatballs. We're just going with meatballs. Anyway, the 2019 Ford Ranger Lariat 4x4 gets a rating of
Dos meatballs. Uno, dos, no tres.
The reason why it's getting 2 meatballs is because I feel this truck is capable if you drive it within its limits. If you drive it into a big sand pit, yeah, it's gonna get stuck. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll see you next week with another.
Bye.
Bye.
I just want to break some hearts and let out parts.